Hi, I'm Jenny Hemingway, and I'm from Iowa City, Iowa, and our farm is located between West Branch and Solon. I took Annie's project for a couple of different reasons. One, I had met Ruth Hamilton at several different meetings that I had been at, and she had talked about it so passionately that I really thought it was important. And I guess I really felt like I needed to go and learn about maybe some other things or kind of refresh my memory on things I did know. And I think it was really nice because it was all women, so you feel like you can ask questions, where a lot of the meetings, some of the meetings when I go to and there's men, no one asks a question. I think projects like Annie's project or classes through Extension or the FSA offers some classes, I think the more we can get the word out there that there are women that do care about farming, whether or not it's corn and soybeans or vegetables or whatever your thing is, trees, that you have a voice and someone hears you, that you're not just sort of pushed to the side and they just go past you. So my husband and I have about 300 acres that we share, that we farm together. I don't say it's his, I say it's ours because it's ours. I mean, I work at it too. We also are part of an LLC, and that owns currently one farm, and that's with Ben's grandpa and his dad. And then we have an S corporation that we are part of, which is a family farm, and it's much larger. So we have different entities, and I think the partnership is the one that we spend the most time because it's the two of us. The other ones, we spend some time with them, but not as much as what we have on our own. I guess, part of what we have done is we have tried to establish something early, so you don't have to have discussions later or maybe hurt feelings. We've tried to set it up so that it's the easiest and the smoothest and what we think is maybe the fairest. I think it's important because I think you need to know what happens in the end. You can't just anticipate that everyone will take care of you or that the crumbs, everything will lay and it'll be fine. That you need to, sort of have an idea of where your farm or your life is going. It's your blood, sweat, and tears, as I say. So you've worked hard for it and you should know where you want it to go when you're not here. The most valuable tool that I took home was that you have to have a plan and you have to communicate that plan. And that means to everybody. And that means to people that aren't necessarily in your will or whatever, that people know. They know what you want and they can carry that out. Because when you've had life-changing event, as I call that, whatever that is, that someone's able to say, but this is really what she wanted. And I think that's really important, that people know that, what you really wanted out of this. So what I mainly would say is just for people to really take the time to look into it, because so many times we think we're going to do it another day, and if the other day doesn't come, we've missed that opportunity. I think, Annie's project or whatever, I would tell people to take classes, to talk to people, to know your neighbors. I think that's really important because otherwise you don't know who else is out there. If they're going to put the airplanes up, you need to know they're not going to kill off all your flowers or whatever that you may have. So I think communication is very key, and I think education is also very important. And certainly Annie's project provides a lot of that.